Hello friends, this is Dr. Amarjit Kaur, Professor of Accounting and Business Communication at the Department of Management, Gurugram University, Gurugram, Problem Solving Skills and Problem Solving Games. So, the agenda would be to talk about certain games which help us develop problem solving skills. So, we are basically talking about problem solving games. So, we discussed about what problem solving games are, what are the benefits. We talked about 2-3 games in the past in the previous lectures, and today we are going to continue further and we are going to talk about certain more problem solving games. So, the first game in this session, which is actually the game number 3, because we have discussed 2 games in previous session, is a shrinking vessel. So, what is shrinking vessel game? This is for adaptability. Using a rope, make a shape on the floor everyone can fit into. Slowly shrink the space over 10 to 15 minutes. Work together to figure out how to keep everyone within the shrinking boundaries. And the learning is people, teams and organization that can adapt will come out on top. So, this is the game number 3, shrinking vessel. So, what is, we are providing one rope and agenda is we give them that certain space on a floor depending on the number of the people in the team. If initially they have been given enough space that everyone in the team, be it, let us assume there are 10 people. So, they are given enough space on the floor that they all of them can stand comfortably. But gradually, in the total time of 10 to 15 minutes, the organizer, the game, who is actually helping them play this, he starts shrinking the rope, right. So, let us say earlier they were given 7 by 7 feet area, now it will be 6 by 6, gradually 5 by 5, 4 by 4 and 3 by 3 like that. So, what will the outcome? They have to actually figure out how to keep everyone within the shrinking boundaries. The boundaries are shrinking, the area is shrinking. So, what the people are learning? They are learning that team is important, that if anybody, even the single person gets out of that boundary, out of that rope, the whole team loses. So, it first of all it gives importance, it make them learn the importance of every single individual in the team, right. The people, the team is important, and then it makes them to adopt. What will happen, that if the boundaries are shrinking, how to adopt to that shrinking, or so it is a kind of resources. So, if the resources are getting limited, how to make best out of that resource, available resource. So, they are actually learning adaptability. So, the game is known as shrinking vessel, and the problem, so adaptability is one of the important skill to solve the problem, because as I said, problem solving, we are not making them learn to solve a particular problem. In fact, we are making them learn to solve all the problems irrespective of the type of the problem, because we are helping them to learn the process of solving the problem, not the problem solving per se. Okay, so that was game number 3. Now, coming to game number 4, it is marshmallow spaghetti tower, and the agenda is that we want to make them learn the importance of collaboration. So, 20 sticks of uncooked spaghetti are given, 1 roll of masking tape is given, 1 yard of string is given and 1 marshmallow is given. The goal is to see which team can use the material provided to build the tallest tower within an allotted time period, and the tower must be able to stand on its own, right. And learning would be that we can solve the problem better as a team than we can do it alone. So, let me explain. The learning out of this game is the importance of collaboration, because there are about 20 sticks which are given to them of spaghetti, the noodles, the long noodles. We know how vulnerable they are when it comes to breaking, right. We give them a tape, a roll of masking tape, 1 string and marshmallow. So, they have to ensure to create a tall tower, and anybody whose tower is the, so there are a couple of teams, right, any team which has the tallest tower which can stand on its own, of course. So here we are making them learn collaboration, creativity, both, and these are the two skills as a part of problem solving skills. So collaboration is needed, creativity is needed to solve a particular problem, right. So this game is known as Marshmallow Spaghetti Tower. Coming to another game, game number 5, standard. Somebody is standard in somewhere, right. So for communication and for time management, a team has been stranded in the office. The doors are locked and knocking down, breaking is not an option. Team gets 30 minutes to decide on 10 items in the office they need for survival and rank them in the order of importance. So what learning is, everyone agrees on the 10 items and their ranking in 30 minutes. So this is a game which is helping people learn the importance of time management for solving any problem, because there is a cost involved for delay in solving the problem. The problem was of complaints from customers, and the more customers are complaining every day, this number is going up. Unless we are able to address the problem within earliest possible time, we are likely to lose customers, we are likely to defame the product, we are likely to lose our goodwill, etc., etc., right. So we are making people learn the importance of time in the problem solving process, and also the communication. Why? Because in this game, what we are doing, we are giving them 30 minutes, and there are a couple of things which are there in the room available. So people have to decide and rank the importance of everything which is available, and rank them. So they have to order it. So it is making them learn to speak with each other, to make others convinced about the importance, to make others convinced to put this item as a first rank or 30th rank, whichever, why, and that too quickly within the time limit. So this is a good problem solve, and that's how whenever there is a problem, the problem pertains to technology, it belongs to customers, product, price, service, legal issue, anything, right. Any type of problem could be there, and everywhere time is important. Otherwise your competitors will take advantage of whatever has been happening with your product, your service, your market, right. So the players are learning how to come out of how to come to a solution or agreement between within the team on the items which are 10 most important items to survive in that room, for which you cannot lock the door, you cannot unlock the door, you don't have the key, you are not allowed to break the door or to break the windows even. So this game is named as standard. Coming to game number 6, it is known as Lego Man. So this Lego Man is for communication. Teams of 2 or more can be there. An overseer builds a random structure. The other teams must replicate the structure exactly, including size and color, within 10 to 15 minutes. However, only one member from a team will look at the original structure. What is the learning? How to communicate the size, color and shape of the original structure to their team. So this particular game, which is known as Lego Man, targets to develop communication skills, which is an essential skill to solve a problem, because we are learning how to solve problem, right, for problem solving skill through the game, and the game is Lego Man. So what is happening here? People of 2 or 3, and so here the size of team is not very big. So the teams of 2 or 3 are made, and somebody makes a structure, random structure, with the help of Legos, the Legos which kids play, right. So the other team must replicate the structure. So one team has made the structure, right, one person or one team has made the structure, and other team of 2 or 3 people, they have to follow the same size, same design, same color theme whichever was there in the original structure made by the overseer or a team, and they have been given certain fixed time 10, 12, 15 minutes, and the limitation is there is only one member from the team who is looking at the original structure. Let us say there was one structure on the one half of the room, and there is in between there is a curtain, there is a wall, there is a door. Another team is preparing has to make the same structure in the second half of the room or the next part of the room, and there is only one guy whomsoever they decide as a team has to go look at the structure and explain, come back and explain, right. This is like this is what happens when the companies are sending their team members or certain teams to another countries to learn technology, to learn for example new cars which are developed. It is not that technology is all the time is developed within the same company. The companies are sending their engineers, their experts to another country where any particular type of technology is used in a car. They go get trained, learn and come back and replace that. It is kind of we are developing them to learn how to communicate effectively, how to develop prototypes with the help of learning they had, how to transfer that training or that learning to others, right. So it is not the size and the color should be original in the structure they are going to create. It is the actual product, actual process. People are sent to learn processes, people are sent to learn products, technology, etc., etc. Or people are given that, see, a boss gives some instruction to his immediate subordinates, and he has been guided to communicate the same thing to the rest of the employees in his team. So, unless that subordinate who has got some instruction from the super boss is able to communicate well to the rest of the members, the problem will not be solved, right. This is what exactly we are doing through this game. We are developing the effective communication and effective transfer of knowledge from one person to another, so that because it is not possible to train everyone overseas, to train everyone in another company, to train everyone in actual, right. So, this is how this game helps in solving problem. Next game is named as Frostbite, and this game is for adaptability. So, this game is each team builds a shelter from the material provided. Both the team's leaders' hands have frostbites, so they cannot physically help construct the shelter, and the rest of the team has snow blindness and they are unable to see. So, lesson is which shelter can withstand the high winds of the storm once the fan is turned on. So, what is done in a room where we have a fan? We take the teams, maybe 2-3 teams, so they are asked to build a shelter with certain material which we provided. It would be newspaper, tape or another building material, it could be any material which we, right. So, if there are 2 teams or 3 teams, so the team leader has frostbite, and they cannot physically touch the shelter which is developing, and the people who are working on developing the shelter, they cannot see the snow, so they are blind, so they are unable to see. It is very interesting situation, right. So it is actually making them learn good communication, adaptability, because the purpose is whose shelter is going to stand when a fan is going to run. So, it is a kind of when there is a storm, when there is a problem, who is going to stand, who is going to survive, right. The corona was there, corona was a storm, who is going to survive, adaptability. So, we are making them learn adaptability, no resource, limited resource, no leader, no effective leader or whatever the resource. So, it is adaptability which is going to be developed through this game, and this is also a good problem solving game. Then we have after that which we call as minefield. So, this particular game is used for communication and coordination. So, what is this game? place the item, boxes, chair, water, bottle, bags, etc. around the room so there is no clear path. Divide your team into pairs and blindfold one person on the team. The other must verbally guide that person from one end to the room to the other, avoiding the minds. So, learning is help in learning coordination and communication. So, how does this particular game help develop problem solving skill? So, what we do? So, we place certain items in a room. It could be chair, box, they all are obstacles, they all are mines, right. So, so that somewhere a water bottle is there, somewhere a bag is there, somewhere a chair is there. So, there is no clear path. And the team is divided into pairs. So, there is one person who is blindfolded, another person who has to cross the path. So, the person who has to cross the path is blindfolded and the other person has to narrate, has to guide the person that he has to give clue. So, the clue could be it should not be direct clue. There could be coding which we can, so the verbally guide the person from one end to little left, little right, one step ahead, one step behind, one step on your, this way, that way, so that the person actually avoids those mines, of course, those products which we have. So, what is happening? There is a good coordination required between the two to cross those mines successfully, and effective communication as well. So, when I say communication, it is not just the speaking skill, the hearing skill also. Unless the person who is blindfolded hears out his counterpart very well, no matter how good the narrator was, the person who was verbally narrating the path, he or she could be so good, but unless there is a capacity, there is a tendency to hear or pay attention to the instructions well, on the end of the blind person one cannot cross the minds effectively, right. So, when we say communication, we are not always talking about spoken communication or written communication, we are talking about hearing as well, right. So, this is the game which is mind field, blindfold. This is something for non-verbal communication. So, the blindfold everyone and whisper a number to each person beginning with 1. Tell them to line up in numerical order or by height, age, birthday, etc. without talking. So, this is going to, the learning is help in learning effective communication. So, there are situations in businesses where you are not able to talk, let us say there is a negotiation meeting going on and you cannot talk directly to your subordinate, to your team members while you are negotiating with the client, with the party, right. But there is something which you need to communicate. So, that is a problem because you cannot offer what the client is asking, you do not have that part, but you still do not want to lose the negotiation, right. So, it becomes imperative and you are not allowed to step out of that boardroom or the discussion room. So, you have to have the good effective non-verbal communication to communicate with the counterpart or the teammate here to solve that problem, right. That's what is just one example. And there are so many more such instances in any business, right. So, everybody in this game, everybody is blindfolded and they just can whisper, one number in the beginning is whispered in their ear and then they need to come together, So, this they need to come up in numerical order or by height, we may say some height, we may say age, we may say some birthday. So, without saying something orally, verbally, they have to use non-verbal clues with the other team members so that they are able to come together as per the instructions. So, this is the game teaching the importance of non-verbal communication in certain problems. Another game is blindfold. So, here is instant problem solving. So, we ask everyone to think of the dumbest possible solution to problem at hand, look through it and see which ones might not be as dumb as you think. Brainstorm your solution in white, in write, and it's a free and everyone can start collaborating instantly. So, it helps in learning instant problem solving. So, what's that? So, here everybody is thinking the dumbest possible solution. So, you are not actually asked to give the best solution. Rather we are we ask them to talk about what is the worst possible solution, the dumbest, stupid solution, right. So, it's a blind minded, you are not blindfolded from your eyes, but you are blind minded. You may call this game as blind minded. You are blank, you are blind, blank from your mind, and you are asked to give a solution which is the most stupid one, right. Why? This is, we are trying to develop instant problem solving, because you will brainstorm your solution in a reverse order. It is free and everyone can start collaborating instantly. Everyone thinks of dumbest possible solution to the problem at hand and then look through it, see which one might not as be the dumb as you think, because the person who is actually leading that game, he will think, oh, this is the, because out of this dumbness some creativity will come out. This is a way to develop creative thinking and problem solving instantly. So, this is something very interesting, right. So, this makes people learn problem solving very quickly. Another problem which we call as what would X do? This is also for instant problem solving. So, have everyone pretend they are someone famous. Each person must approach the problem as if they were their chosen famous person. What options would they consider? How would they handle it? What is the learning? This allows everyone to consider solutions they might not have thought of originally. So, the name of the game is what would X do? Right, and this is also for instant problem solving. So, this makes people develop the habit of solving a problem instantly, right. What is this game? So, here we ask everyone to pretend somebody else, not himself, not. So, if I am Dr. Amarjit, I am not acting as Dr. Amarjit. I may be acting as a very famous professor from Harvard, very famous scientist, very famous technologist, very famous AI person, etc., etc., right. And then they are asked, what, how will you, now you are not you, I am X now, right. How will that X respond to this problem, or what will be his or her approach to solve this problem? What do you think? Now, the person will not think as he himself thinks. He or she will think as he feels that other person will think, right. This is what we need, what would X do? And out of this process, that suddenly the problem solutions are going to pop up. So, this is a technique of instant problem solving, because here the person is asked to step into the shoes of somebody else. For example, there is a problem which has been talked about by a customer. So, you would be asked, okay, think that you are not manager here, you are the customer who is facing this problem, how would you deal with this? So, then the person will start thinking from that customer's perspective, right. This is how this problem solving game, what would you X do, helps people learn to develop instant problem solving. The last game I want to talk about, two truth and one lie. So, here the purpose is for again instant problem solving. Team members will randomly write two truth and one lie about themselves on a paper. Everyone reads off the item they wrote, Rest of the room must guess which statement is true or are true, and learning is this allows everyone to know each other better to work effectively in a team, right. So, here a person is writing 2 truth, 1 lie on a piece of paper and then reading. Everybody, there could be 10, 20, 30 members, this is what everybody would do. So, let us say I wrote 1 lie, 2 truth on a piece of paper, I read it loudly, others need to make a guess, and then I will tell no, this is truth in actual and this is lie. So, what is happening? The others are getting to know me more than what I would, right, be otherwise known to them, and this is what actually helps collaborate better, solve the problem instantly, because people are able to speak and know, no, he has that skill, she has that skill, he cannot do that, she cannot do that, right. So, this is developed amongst the team member. So, familiarity amongst the team members, learning about each other, and then certainly it leads to problem solving quickly. So, these were the games which are like few of the games, there are many more games which can be used. I used just a couple of them, about 13-14 games I discussed about. So, these are the games which can be used to grow problem solving skills amongst the people. So, with this I would like to wind up, and I hope you are able to understand these games well. Friends, time to sign off. Thank you.